When I got involved in the anti-strike action last year, I discovered that student government is much more important than you'd think. This is my fourth year now, and having learned a lot of important things about how our campus and politics work, I'd like to give back to the community by making use not only of my experience as a veteran student, but also as a political person in McGill's most turbulent year. Being a representative to AUS and SMU would give me the opportunity to make the fullest use of that experience. I believe that mine would be an important voice on council due to my history of speaking up for those outside of its immediate focus. I think that thanks to the years I've spent as a regular student at McGill, I have a pretty good idea of what most students want and how best to represent them. On top of that, I believe that I have important organizational skills that would be of use to AUS and SMU. Apart from building groups such as ModPack from the ground up, I've played leadership roles in groups such as the Free Thought Association, and I'm willing to put in the work to get the job done, and I intend to see through whatever I commit to. The first barrier I see is also my greatest asset, my experiences last year in dealing with the student strike. In handling that, I found myself vigorously opposing people that were rightfully passionate about the issue, and so found myself with some enemies. This is not a situation I want to maintain, and I'm willing to go halfway to overcome the animosity that was generated last year. I hope to do so by helping to move forward on things that are to everyone's benefit, such as a student-run cafe, and making every effort to understand the issues from multiple perspectives so that we can come to a solution that's beneficial to everyone. The second barrier is the general apathy of most students towards student politics. Most people at McGill come here to study, get their degree, and leave, with no thought spared towards what happens in their student unions. Obviously, I can't force people to care. While I will support engagement in every way possible, I'll also find myself having to rely on my own judgment in questions that many of my constituents will show little interest in. In that case, I hope that my time spent as a similarly unengaged student will give me an idea of what would be in the interests of these students in determining the best course for AUS and SMU. Obviously, this depends on the situation, and most issues I'll handle on a case-by-case basis. In general, though, my first priority will be to gather as much information as possible on the issue before taking action. There are very few simple answers in any kind of politics, and the temptation will always be to take a hardline stance for whatever motive. By gathering as much information as I can from both my constituents and the larger context, and applying my best judgment, I hope to find a middle road that can be acceptable to everyone. I am a mythical creature.